The modern crisis of the soul is not a lack of opportunity, but a lack of space. We live in an era of radical transparency and constant connectivity, where the walls of our private lives have become porous, if not entirely transparent. We are perpetually available, constantly reachable, and socialized to believe that being a team player or a good person requires a boundless yes. However, a house without a door is not a home, it is a thoroughfare. Without a defined boundary, your life is not your own. It is an occupied territory managed by the whims, needs, and emotional projections of everyone else. The anatomy of the perpetual yes. To understand why we struggle to set boundaries, we must first look at the psychology of the yes man. For many, the inability to say no is not a lack of willpower. It is a survival mechanism. We are social animals, and for much of human history, being cast out of the tribe meant certain death. In the modern context, this primal fear manifests as a desperate need for external validation. We say yes because we fear being labeled as difficult, selfish, or unkind. We fear that if we stop providing utility to others, we will lose our value in their eyes. This is the validation trap. When you build your identity on your utility to others, you essentially outsource your self-worth. You become a mirror reflecting the expectations of your boss, your partner, your friends, and even strangers on the internet. In this state, the self begins to atrophy. You lose the ability to distinguish between what you actually want and what you feel obligated to provide. This leads to a profound sense of internal emptiness. Even when you are outwardly successful and well-liked, the high cost of being boundless. When you fail to set boundaries, you pay a tax on your soul. The most immediate cost is cognitive and emotional fragmentation. Every time you say yes to something that isn't a priority, you are saying no to the deep work and creative focus required for your own goals. You become a master of the trivial, spending your best energy on other people's emergencies, while your own dreams sit in the corner gathering dust. Beyond the loss of focus, there is the inevitable arrival of resentment. Resentment is the emotional smoke that rises from a burned-out boundary. You do the favor, you take the extra shift, you listen to the hour-long venting session, and you feel good for a moment. But eventually a bitter voice inside asks, when is it my turn? Why does no one respect my time? The irony is that people don't respect your time because you haven't taught them how. By being infinitely available, you have signaled that your time has zero value. Boundaries is a filter, not a fortress. A common misconception is that setting boundaries means becoming cold, isolated, or aggressive. This couldn't be further from the truth. A boundary is not a concrete wall designed to keep the world out. It is a semi-permeable membrane, much like the walls of a biological cell. Its job is to let in nutrients and keep out toxins. A healthy boundary allows you to be generous without being exploited. It creates a safe zone where you can nurture your own ideas and energy so that when you do choose to give, you are giving from a place of abundance rather than a place of depletion. Without this filter, you are susceptible to emotional contagion, taking on the stress, anger, and anxiety of everyone around you until you can no longer find your own center. The role of mindfulness in boundary setting. Boundary setting is at its core an act of mindfulness. To set a boundary, you must first be aware of your internal state. Most yes men operate on autopilot. The yes leaves their mouth before they've even processed the request. Mindfulness creates a gap between the stimulus, the request, and the response, your answer. In that gap, you can check in with your body. Does your chest tighten? Do you feel a sense of dread in your stomach? Does your breath become shallow? These are the somatic signals that a boundary is being threatened. Mindfulness allows you to observe these signals without judgment. Instead of reacting out of fear or guilt, you can simply note, I am feeling pressured right now. This is a sign that I need to protect my space. This internal awareness is the foundation of self-sovereignty. It allows you to move from a reactive life to a proactive one. The art of the healthy no. Learning to say no is the most important skill you can develop for your mental health. However, it requires a shift in perspective. You are not rejecting a person, you are protecting a priority. When you view a no as a defense of your core values, the guilt begins to dissipate. The transparent information approach. You don't need a complicated excuse. A simple, I don't have the capacity for this right now, is often more respected than a long-winded lie. Lies invite negotiation. Transparency sets a standard. The I statement technique: focus on your own limitations rather than the other person's demands. I am focusing on a specific project right now and cannot take on more, is firm and non-confrontational. The strategic delay: never answer a non-emergency request immediately. Use the phrase, let me check my schedule and get back to you. This breaks the autopilot cycle and gives you the space to formulate a respectful no if needed. Reclaiming the vital few. The ultimate goal of setting boundaries is to reclaim your energy for the vital few, those few activities, people and goals that truly matter. Pareto's principle suggests that 80% of our results come from 20% of our efforts. Without boundaries, your 20% is constantly interrupted by the trivial many. Imagine what you could achieve if you took back just 2 hours a day from unnecessary meetings, emotional labor for people who don't reciprocate, and social obligations you don't enjoy. That is 730 hours a year. That is the difference between a life of quiet desperation and a life of mastery. Boundaries are the guards you station at the gates of your focus to ensure that your vital few get the best of you, not the rest of you. The transformation of relationships. One of the greatest fears people have is that setting boundaries will destroy their relationships. The reality is the opposite. Boundaries are the only way to have healthy relationships. When you have no boundaries, your relationships are based on a contract of suppression. You hide your true feelings to keep the peace, which leads to a lack of intimacy. You aren't being loved for who you are. You're being loved for how much you can endure. When you start setting boundaries, the takers in your life, those who rely on your boundlessness for their own comfort, will likely react with anger or guilt tripping. Let them. Their reaction is proof of why the boundary was necessary in the first place. On the other hand, the people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. They will feel safer around you because they know that when you say yes, you actually mean it. Your relationships move from a basis of obligation to a basis of choice. This is where true connection begins. Conclusion: the sovereignty of the self. In the end, your life is a series of choices about where to draw the line. Every time you allow someone to cross a line you haven't drawn, you lose a piece of yourself. Reclaiming those lines is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of integrity. You are the only person who can live your life. You are the only person who can protect your sanity. By establishing your boundaries, you aren't shutting the world out. You are defining the terms on which you will engage with it. You are declaring that your time is valuable, your energy is finite, and your peace of mind is non-negotiable. Walk through the world with your head held high, knowing that your yes has power only because you are willing to say no. In the sacred space within your boundaries, you will find the focus to build your empire, the peace to enjoy your successes, and the freedom to finally truly be yourself.